going, everybody? Welcome back. This is my third video, and hopefully this isn't too distracting. I'm trying to have this track my face so everything isn't backwards like my logo on my hat. Anyway, this is my third video, and it's been a while. It is February 24th, and my last lesson was on the 10th of February, so it's been 2 weeks from today. And my next lesson is not till March 5th. So I need to keep myself focused on progressing towards my private. And one way I've been doing that the last couple weeks, I had a good excuse last week. One of my kids was homesick all week, which meant I was at home with them as well, which meant I could do my ground school while I was taking care of them. So that's what I did. And I'm going to pop it up on the screen here so you can kind of see. But I use Gold Seal. It was recommended to me by my instructor. And I've been thrilled with it. Gold Seal is an incredible online ground school. They didn't exist when I started my private back in 2002. Um, just they didn't have an online version of really anything. Certainly wasn't ForeFlight and all that. So for me, this was very new. It's better than having to dedicate time to go out to the FBO, to sit in the classroom and participate in the ground school in that setting. And actually, where I fly out of at Twin Oaks, they do have a ground school they're offering right now. It's actually a little bit more than what I'm paying with Gold Seal. So it's nothing. It's not a knock on Twin Oaks at all. It's a great airport to fly out of. It's a great FBO. Great family that runs it. I love flying out of Twin Oaks. This just happens to be more cost effective and fit better into my schedule. So that's what I use. Really, really great program. I've been incredibly happy with just the instruction. It allows me to pause the lesson, take my notes, and utilize those notes when I'm going over flashcards so that when I'm going through the quiz on each section that has quizzes, I'm finding that I'm able to recall information. Yeah, the FAA written test is going to be a closed book test, but I've really found so far that this has worked really well for me. We'll see how as I progress, um, as I get towards the mock written exam that they offer and all that. The other reason that I'm really trying to knock out this ground school is my instructor. He talks about this on his podcasts and YouTube videos. He doesn't sign off on his students to solo until they've passed a ground school, and he talks about his reasons why, and they make sense. And so, that's it's not that my first two instructors that I worked with are actually three when I was younger. It's not that I wasn't ready to solo when they signed off on me to solo. It's just Sam puts a little different thought into it, and it does make sense. So yeah, his videos explain that pretty well. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing ground school, trying to get myself ready to get signed off to solo again, because I'm going to have to get some solo hours in just to make sure I'm ready for my practical test as well. So that's kind of what's been going on. You can head over to Gold Seal. I'm not sponsored by anybody. Nobody watches this stuff right now. Even if people started flocking to this YouTube page of mine, um, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not important enough or famous enough to be sponsored by anybody, and I'm fine with that. So, I mentioned in my last video that Sam was actually working with a headset provider that was sponsoring his content, it looks like. And he was going to have me try out that headset that they were sending him because I need to buy one. And he didn't have it for our lesson that day, but he did have a Lightspeed, I want to say Sierra, that they're, I think, selling used there at Twin Oaks. So I gave that a try. It was a good headset. It's got the active noise canceling feature on it. It's Bluetooth. The Bluetooth connectivity in headsets was just kind of starting to become a thing when I was first starting my private way back when I was like 18. Obviously, that technology is a lot more present in headsets now. A lot of different manufacturers offer it. So I did try a Lightspeed. Um, for me right now, a headset like a Lightspeed and a Bose is just it's more money than I'm going to be able to spend right now on a headset. I don't have $1,000, $1,200, whatever, to drop on a headset right now. Whatever I buy right now, I'm planning on that being a headset for our family, for when we do go up together. I hope someday soon, and that way um, we have an extra headset and maybe require a couple other cheapo ones for the family to go flying. Anyway, long term goal, getting far ahead of myself on that. So I'm hoping on the 5th, when I go up with Sam, he'll have that headset. I can give that a shot. I think I've got a pretty good line on an iPad mini that I want to pick up, a used one. I'm going to try and find if that picked up my cat. That's my cat meowing. I think I've got a line on an iPad mini that's used that I'd like to go pick up, and that way I can get my ForeFlight account all set up, start working on transferring my paper logbook over to the digital version of it, so I have that with me. Because again, that's a new thing for me. So it's not new to a lot of people, but it's new for me. So I've got that stuff I'm working on. I'm hoping to find some time this week to go pick up that iPad mini and all that. So my next lessons coming up are going to be, I mentioned the 5th of March, but then I'm going to have another month off, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is work related. I've got some training I've got to get into at work that's going to go for 5 weeks. And so my midweek days off are going to not exist for that month and a week, basically, for me. So that's going to only leave me, Fridays and Saturdays to work with Sam. So I'm gonna have to find some Fridays and Saturdays, which is what I did find. So April 4th, April 14th. Um, I'll be back on my regular 4-day work weeks by that 14th, that lesson on the 14th, um, and then April 25th and May 12th. They use Flight Scheduler Pro at Twin Oaks, and they also only allow you to schedule up to 90 days out. So that's why I only scheduled it through the 12th of May. Need to jump on there, look for some more dates in May. So there's that. The other reason March is not going to work out very well for flying for me is, my son's baseball team is going to be down in Arizona for spring break for a baseball tournament. So I will be traveling a little bit in March as well. So, which I'm looking forward to. Arizona in March is always nice. One thing I haven't talked about in my past is my past life before getting back into flying. And I've spent a lot of time in Arizona, which is why I love it down there. I spent 6 years in professional baseball. I was an umpire. I did minor league baseball for 6 years. So I spent a lot of time down there for spring training. Being from Oregon, I got to do my spring trainings down in Arizona and Phoenix. So um, that was a nice experience for me. And so I do enjoy going down there, especially in the springtime when it's wet and cold here. It's sunny and generally pretty warm down there. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to meeting up with an old friend of mine that moved down there a while back, and then another friend of mine is going to be down there as well that I'll get to hang out with. So it's going to be a packed few days down there for me. I'm only going to be down there for about 4 days, 5 days. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I'm really looking forward to getting back in the air in March and April. April's going to be a heavy flying month. Um, I'm glad it's spaced out this way. I'm going to be able to save up some money. As I mentioned in my first video, I rideshare drive. That's going to be a big way that I pay for that. But the other way, um, I umpire, right? I was a professional umpire for 6 years. I haven't been able to get out there and do any like high school baseball for about the last 10 years. So I'm getting back out on the field this spring, which I'm excited to do. That's another way for me to pay for this little adventure I'm on. So I can ride share drive, I can umpire, and that's how I'm going to be able to afford to do what I do. I've also got other stuff that pulls at my time. I mentioned my kids are busy with their activities, and then I volunteer on the board for a youth baseball organization around here. I train, recruit, and assign umpires for them. So um, that's going to be pulling at my time as well. I need to get out there and watch my umpires work and give them feedback and help them grow. And I've got a whole other channel that I've set up for them to watch some videos. We'll put our classroom sessions that I put up there that I've been doing. So that's a whole other level of content that is going out there too for them. So I'm excited to get back at it. I want to thank everybody that's watched these. It's not very many people. I have no idea if any of this is going to help anybody. I don't know if anybody even cares, but I'm giving it a shot. I'm enjoying it. And we'll see where things go after I finish up my private again. I hope to do that this year. That'd be great. So that's what I've got. That's my update for February 24th. I probably won't have another video up until March, after my March 5th lesson. I threw a logo together that I put at the beginning of this. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to editing videos. I'm doing a lot of learning as I go along here, so I hope everybody can bear with me while I stumble my way through this and figure out how to be, I guess, a digital content creator a little bit. So appreciate you watching this video, and I will catch you for the next one.